All right, March 2nd, 2025, from reviewing Numbers 11, looks like 12 and 13. Part of 13. Yep, all 13 looks like. And anyway, with Numbers 11, we've got the people complaining about Moses and it bringing the Lord's anger. They're first complaining about not having everything and having all the hardship, and then there's people among them that are rousing them up that they remember fish and all this other food and they wanted something different, and they got angry, and then Moses got angry. They keep whining to me, and so he even gets a little dramatic about it, and says, why do they have to do that? They keep coming against me here. This isn't fair. Moses seems like he's getting whiny. But then, so God says, okay, fine. Gather before me 70 men who are recognized as elders and leaders of Israel. And I will put my spirit upon them also. And they will bear the burden of the people among you. So he does that. So he gives Moses some reprieve there. And then God promises meat. Promises some meat. And like Moses is like, what? I can't believe that. But hey, God says, hey, am I not God? You'll see. Tomorrow you're going to see. And also, had two men that were part of that 70 that didn't make it there. They were listed, but they didn't go. And they still got the Spirit of the Lord, and they started prophesying in the camp. And people tried to shut it down and said, Moses, stop this. And even Joshua, son of Nun, said, make them stop. But Moses said, are you jealous? I wish that all God's people, all the Lord's people were prophets. So, strange that they didn't show up. Why they didn't show up, I'm not sure. But they still got the Spirit. They were still listed among the elders, and they still received that Spirit. And then God sent the quail that hovered and flew over them, and then they started eating and gorging themselves, and God made them sick. Some of them sick for it. But they had plenty of quail to eat after that. It is amazing. God's power and majesty shone through it. He promised, and he fulfilled that promise. Nobody could see how it was going to happen, but God made it happen. That is the power of God. We can never doubt the power and might of God. He keeps showing up and showing off in ways that we don't understand. And then we get the complaint of Moses' brother and sister, Aaron and Miriam. They said, hey, hasn't God used us? God got pretty mad about that. Now Moses is writing this. He's recording all this, and Moses writes, Moses was very humble, more humble than any other person on earth. Anyway, find that comical to a degree, but just kind of brush over that. But God does say, if there were any prophets among you, I, the Lord, would reveal myself in visions. I would speak to them in dreams. But not so with my servant Moses. Of all my house, he is the one I trust. I speak clearly to him face to face, clearly not in riddles. He sees the Lord as he is. So why were you not afraid to criticize him? He's my servant, Moses. So he strikes Miriam with leprosy, and they put, Moses prays for that, but they still have to put her out of camp for 7 days for the time of purification. Then we get the 12 scouts that explore the Canaan, the promised land, and they go out and they find such great produce, great grapes, great things, pomegranates, and they come back and they show it off, but they also, while they're there, they see great people, big people. They see an insurmountable task to overcome that. But two of them, Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, try to quiet the people. They see that God's God. He has an everlasting power. They've realized that God is God, and he can overtake them for them. But the other 10 report bad reports and spread fear in the hearts of all the rest of the people. And so we know how that ends, and we'll see that as we read. But that's the extent of where we're reading today, is that the fear has started in the people because of these 10 people that went there and were afraid. We can't be afraid of God's promise. When God is with us, who can be against us? And Joshua sees that, and Caleb sees that. But the rest of the 10 do not. They see how good it is. But we have to believe in the promise of God. And that's the bottom line there.